Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shahab. A massive storm has stirred over the special intensive revision in Bihar. The Bihar leader of opposition, Tejasvi Yadav, he has claimed that his name was missing on the electoral roll. The Election Commission has fact-checked RJD's claims. They say that the booth has shifted. The name has not been dropped.
ये एप्लीकेशन है, मेरा भी नहीं है। हम चुनाव कैसे लड़ेंगे? चुनाव लड़ने के लिए आपको बूथ वोटर बनना चाहिए, बिहार का वोटर होना चाहिए, तब जाकर के आप चुनाव लड़िएगा।
Tejasvi Yadav making a serious allegation to showcase the problems with the special intensive revision of the voter list for Bihar, claiming that his name has been deleted from Bihar's electoral roll after the SIR exercise. Immediately after this public charge against the poll body, the Election Commission responded, sharing his voter ID card, details of the serial number, booth number to prove its point. Shockingly, the voter ID which Tejasvi displayed and the one released by the Election Commission has different voter ID card numbers.
हमारे पास जो उनके एपिक नंबर हैं वो विशेष गहन पुनरीक्षण के पहले जो एपिक नंबर था और अभी जो आया दोनों एक ही हैं, उसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है।
ये रहा इलेक्टोरल रोल तेजस्वी यादव का रिवीजन के बाद, सीरियल नंबर 416, और उसके बाद कहते हैं कि मेरा नाम इलेक्टोरल रोल से कट गया है। ये झूठ और भ्रम फैलाने का बात नहीं है तो क्या है? देश में अव्यवस्था फैलाना चाहते हैं, चाहे तेजस्वी यादव बिहार में हो या राहुल गांधी देश में हो। ये लोग का झूठ पकड़ाते जाता है, ये बेशर्मों की तरह माफी तक नहीं मांगते ये लोग।
Sources indicate that Tejasvi Yadav may have been removed from the list from one of the booths due to alleged duplication of voter ID. Under electoral law, dual registration is not permitted and names should be deleted upon verification. The poll body has launched an investigation into Mr. Yadav's claims, with sources adding that an FIR will be registered against the former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar if he is found to be in possession of 2 voter ID cards.
तेजस्वी यादव विपक्ष के नेता हैं, आपने बिल्कुल ही फरेबी आरोप लगाया। दस्तावेजी प्रमाण जब वेबसाइट पर उसको देखा गया लिंक पर, तो आपका नाम दर्ज है। चुनाव आयोग इस पर गंभीरता से विचार करे। क्या एक व्यक्ति को 2 ईपिक नंबर रखने का अधिकार है?
However, whatever the case be, Tejasvi Yadav can still apply for re-enrollment and get his records corrected till the 1st of September, much before the Code of Conduct comes into force in Bihar. With Prabhakar Kumar in Patna, Gargi Rawat for NDTV.
Well, the battle between the opposition and the Election Commission continues. Rahul Gandhi has challenged the Election Commission, accused the Election Commission of bias. In fact, the Election Commission has now responded. Rajnath Singh, in the meanwhile, has also fired back at Rahul Gandhi. He has said, show proof and stop the theatrics. Election Commission, in the meanwhile, has labelled Rahul Gandhi's charges as fictional.
Leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi has once again launched a sharp attack on the Election Commission, alleging large-scale rigging in the Maharashtra Assembly elections. Speaking at a Congress event in Delhi, Rahul Gandhi claimed that he possesses evidence of poll manipulation, comparing it to an atom bomb that once revealed would cause political tremors.
स्टेट लेवल पे हमें लगा कि यहाँ पे चोरी हुई है, तो हमने अपना ही इन्वेस्टिगेशन करवाया। उसमें 6 महीने लगे और जो हमें मिला है वो एटम बॉम्ब है। मतलब एटम बॉम्ब है, फटेगा तो आप इलेक्शन कमीशन आपको दिखेगा नहीं हिंदुस्तान।
Rahul is expected to visit Karnataka on the 5th of August. It is reported that in a program, Rahul Gandhi will disclose the alleged proof during a scheduled public event. Meanwhile, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh hit back at Rahul Gandhi's statement, challenging him to present the evidence instead of making dramatic claims.
अगर आपके पास सबूतों का एटम बम है तो उसका परीक्षण तुरंत कर डालिए। एटॉमिक टेस्ट तुरंत हो जाना चाहिए। सारे सबूत जनता के सामने रखिए, सारे सबूत जनता के सामने रखिए। मगर सच्चाई यह है कि उनके पास न कोई तथ्य है, न सबूत है। सनसनीखेज बातें करना उनकी पुरानी आदत है।
The Election Commission rejected Rahul Gandhi's claims as baseless and false. The poll body ignores such statements. The Election Commission clarified that no objections were raised by the Congress party after the voter list for the Lok Sabha elections in Karnataka was released. With Prashant Gargi Rawat for NDTV.
Well, NDTV has accessed the chilling CCTV footage of the gruesome killing of a Trinamool leader, which took place on the 29th of July in Hooghly district. Pintu Chakrabarti, a Panchayat committee member and a businessman, was attacked by two unidentified assailants on the 29th of July. He was immediately rushed to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The police overruled possibility of any political involvement behind this particular crime. The prime accused, a local muscleman, Vishwanath Das, who had a dispute over the business of promoting and property with the deceased, was later arrested.
Well, the incident took place on 29th of July in the evening in Hooghly, Uttarpara under Uttarpara police station. A TMC local leader, a panchayat member, was brutally hacked to death, in front of many others. And now the CCTV footage has emerged, and police, citing this CCTV footage, have arrested successfully 3 prime accused related to this case. And what we are given to understand, that particular TMC leader, who also a known businessman, he was killed by a strong man in the same locality for having a financial rivalry, and also for that killing, the prime accused hired two contract killer with regard to this case. And as of now, 3 have been arrested, and police will produce them before the court tomorrow. And the CCTV footage, the chilling CCTV footage, shows that how that man was killed in front of his own business place, and that triggered a massive shockwave and panic in the locality. Further investigations are also underway. That is what we are given to understand by the concerned police authorities.
MNS Chief Raj Thackeray, he has launched a tirade against selling of land to non-Marathis in Raigad district. While speaking at an event there, Mr. Thackeray was in fact sharing the stage with Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray leader Sanjay Raut. He encouraged those selling their land to think about the future, and also said there is a law in Gujarat that does not allow outsiders to buy agricultural land in Gujarat.
इथे महाराष्ट्रावरती तुम्ही बोलत असता की बिहारांच्या विरोधात आणि उत्तर प्रदेशांच्या विरोधात. अहो, गुजरातमध्ये आता दोनदा झालं, दोनदा मी त्याशी म्हटलं ना, दोनदा बिहारांना हाकलून दिले. पहिल्या वेळेला 20,000 लोकांना हाकलून दिले. 20,000 लोक. कोणी ते आंदोलन केलं होतं, तो काय नाव त्याचं आमदार, अल्पेश ठाकूर, त्याने आंदोलन केलं गुजरातमध्ये. बातम्या नाहीत. बिहारी लोकांना हाकलून दिले, जवळपास 20,000 लोकांना हाकलून दिले. त्या अल्पेश ठाकूरला नंतर भारतीय जनता पक्षामध्ये घेतलं गेलं, आणि त्याच्यानंतर त्या अल्पेश ठाकूरला गुजरातमध्ये त्याला आमदार केलं गेलं. म्हणजे 20,000 बिहारांना हाकलून देणाऱ्या माणसाला गुजरातमध्ये जर समजा सत्कार होतो, जेव्हा राज ठाकरे बोलतो, तो संकुचित देशद्रोही कसा असतो?
Time for a very short break, but on the other side, we'll get you the details of that match between India and Pakistan. A bit calls for boycott of that particular match. The match is now set to happen on the 14th of September. We'll get you all the details of that after the break. Well, Operation Sindoor to Trump's tariff threat, it has been a mega narrative battle that has unfolded in Varanasi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was speaking there. He launched a scathing attack on the opposition. He slammed the Congress for calling Operation Sindoor a drama. He, in fact, also in a sharp warning to Pakistan, he said that the mere mention of BrahMos missiles has created panic across the border. He in fact also spoke about the Trump's tariff. The Prime Minister doubled down on his Vocal for Local campaign and urged Indians to rally behind homegrown products and economic self-reliance.
मैंने अपनी बेटियों के सिंदूर का बदला लेने का जो वचन दिया था, वो भी पूरा हुआ है। मैं ऑपरेशन सिंदूर की सफलता को उनके चरणों में समर्पित करता हूं। देश की एकता की हर बात नई चेतना जगा देती है और तभी तो ऑपरेशन सिंदूर सफल होता है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के दौरान भारत के स्वदेशी हथियारों की ताकत पूरी दुनिया ने देखी है। हमारे एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम, हमारी स्वदेशी मिसाइलें, स्वदेशी ड्रोन्स, इन्होंने आत्मनिर्भर भारत की ताकत को साबित किया है। खासकर हमारी ब्रह्मोस मिसाइलें, इनकी दहशत भारत के हर दुश्मन के भीतर भर गई है। पाकिस्तान में कहीं हुई ब्रह्मोस आवाज आ जाए ना तो नींद नहीं आती। मेरे प्यारे भाई बहनों, मैं यूपी का सांसद हूं। यूपी के सांसद के नाते मुझे खुशी है कि वो ब्रह्मोस मिसाइलें हमारे यूपी में भी बनेगी। लखनऊ में ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग शुरू हो रही है। अब हम आर्थिक प्रगति की बात कर रहे हैं तो मैं आपका ध्यान वैश्विक हालातों पर भी ले जाना चाहता हूं। आज दुनिया की अर्थव्यवस्था कई आशंकाओं से गुजर रही है। अस्थिरता का माहौल है। ऐसे में दुनिया के देश अपने अपने हितों पर फोकस कर रहे हैं। भारत भी दुनिया की तीसरी सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बनने जा रहा है। अब हम कुछ भी खरीदें तो एक ही तराजू होना चाहिए। हम उन चीजों को खरीदेंगे जिसे बनाने में किसी न किसी भारतीय का पसीना बहा है।
Former JDS MP Prajwal Revanna, he has been sentenced to life in prison in the case related to the sexual assault of a 47-year-old woman. Prajwal was awarded the maximum punishment. He has also been levied a fine of over 10 lakh rupees. This is one of the 4 cases that were filed against Prajwal Revanna for rape and molestation. Prajwal Revanna, he is the grandson of former Prime Minister Deve Gowda. He has charges of shooting videos of many women.
It is an historic judgment in 376(2)(n) where the court has awarded a maximum punishment till his life, till his natural life. So it is an historic judgment in that construct.
Is there an option appeal for the court verdict?
He has an option. Accused has the right of option. The mitigating factor and aggravating factors exist between the accused and the victim is the reason for awarding maximum punishment.
Fact that Prajwal Revanna has been, sentenced to life in prison for the rape of a household help. Your comment on that, because at the time when this case came out, it seemed that he's someone who's so powerful, belonging to the family. He does a political family. His grandfather, former, prime minister, and we, how it is. We're never sure that will justice be served? But in this case, at least we have seen him, it seems, and it's happened fairly quickly, getting this life sentence in the rape case.
So, these were women who came from very underprivileged community, right? And they didn't have the means, but they spoke up. And I don't even want, I can't imagine what they've endured all these years, because they've Prajwal Revana's family is obviously from a very powerful political family, and they've tried to suppress and silence these women. But these women stood their ground, and they spoke up. And I think that's very inspiring. And then to see a judgment like this, it just goes to say that, no matter who you are or how powerful you are, the law is equal to all, and that anyone today can file a complaint if you're harassed, and justice will be served. And I'm really happy for these women, and I'm sorry for what they had to go through, but they are extremely inspiring because, like I said, they don't have the means. She was just a farm laborer working at his farm, and she had the courage to speak up. And because of them, I think it's a win for all of us women.
Amid calls for boycott of the upcoming India versus Pakistan match, the Asian Cricket Council has now confirmed that that match will now take place on the 14th of September in Dubai. In fact, the ACC has confirmed that the ACC Men's Asia Cup 2025 is set to be hosted in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The continent's premier championship kicks off on the 9th of September, is what the ACC has said. My colleague Rika Roy joins us to get us more on this. Rika, take us through the details.
Well, it is the confirmation that comes from ACC this evening that the India-Pakistan match that we've all been talking about will be held on the 14th of September in Dubai. Now, of course, the tournament will be held in two venues, Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Talking about India and Pakistan, the first of the fixtures is on 14th of September, and then is the Super 4. If both the teams reach the Super 4s and they are on the top of the table, then they will play that match on the 21st of September. That could also happen in Dubai, but we will have to wait and see where that fixture happened. There could be a third one in the Asia Cup again if both the teams happen to reach the final, and that could happen on the 28th of September. So as many as 3 India-Pakistan matches in September, but a minimum of 2 there for all the fans.
All right, Rika Roy, thank you very much for getting us all those details. India has strongly refuted Trump's claims about India's oil imports, sparking diplomatic tensions between the two countries. India has pushed back against Trump's assertions, emphasizing its diplomatic efforts and trade policies.
Hours after Donald Trump claimed that India has stopped buying oil from Russia, the Indian government swiftly refuted the statement, calling it factually incorrect.
I understand India no longer is going to be buying oil from Russia. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's a good step. We'll see what happens, okay?
ऊर्जा ज़रूरतों की सोर्सिंग की बात होती है, उस पे हमारा जो ब्रॉड अप्रोच, मतलब जो हमारा अप्रोच और रवैया है, उससे आप भली भांति अवगत हैं कि जो बाजार में, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में जो तेल मिलता है, किस भाव पे मिलता है, और उस समय या इस समय जो भी वैश्विक माहौल है, इसको लेके हम इस पे निर्णय करते हैं.
Government officials clarified that Indian refiners continue to import Russian crude. Russian oil is not under sanctions. On a G7, EU price cap is in place to restrict profits while keeping supply flowing. India, they say, has acted as a responsible global energy actor, ensuring price stability and market liquidity. The government also stated that its relation with Russia has weathered many challenges in the past and will withstand the current turbulence.
Ties with any country, or all the ties that we have with various countries, they stand on their own merit, and they should not be seen from the prism of a third country. As far as India-Russia relations are concerned, we have a steady and time-tested partnership.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called on citizens to adopt of Swadeshi and support made-in-India products. His comments provided yet another indication that instead of opening up the economy, his government was looking at protectionism as the antidote to a world trade scenario rattled by Trump's weaponizing of tariffs.
आज दुनिया की अर्थव्यवस्था कई आशंकाओं से गुजर रही है। भारत भी दुनिया की तीसरी सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बनने जा रहा है। हर पल, हर बार, हर जगह देशवासियों के अंदर एक भाव जगाना होगा और वो है हम स्वदेशी का संकल्प लें। मेरे भाइयों बहनों, मेरे देशवासियों, अब हम कुछ भी खरीदें तो एक ही तराजू होना चाहिए। हम उन चीजों को खरीदेंगे जिसे बनाने में किसी न किसी भारतीय का पसीना बहा है।
Trump's comments didn't end there. After announcing a 25% tariff on Indian goods, he called India and Russia dead economies. This triggered a sharp response from former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev, who mocked Trump's rhetoric and warned of Cold War consequences, even referencing the dead hand nuclear system capable of retaliation even in a doomsday scenario. Now the United States has escalated further, deploying nuclear-powered submarines in the region, a move seen by many as adding military presence to Trump's already aggressive economic stance.
He was talking about nuclear. When you talk about nuclear, we have to be prepared, and we're totally prepared.
Trump's rhetoric may be loud, but both India and Russia are pushing back. And the message from New Delhi is very clear that their strategic ties with Russia can't be sacrificed at the altar of US politics. In Delhi, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.